everyone, welcome back to another process video, and today I'm going to take on a Paige Evans challenge. Now, she posted this challenge a couple weeks ago. In fact, it was April 3rd, and the only reason why that date is stuck in my head is because it was the day that we were driving to Red Robin when I saw the post to celebrate my daughter's 9th birthday. And the challenge was to use floral pattern paper or floral die cuts, a cut file, I mean. And that was created by Paige Evans. So the floral pattern papers had to come from any of her collections that she has ever created. And so while I was driving to the Red Robin, I was reading the post and the challenge, and I was just racking my brain of what could I do that I haven't seen before, something that's totally, completely out of my comfort zone. I wanted to create this masterpiece, and that's probably where I went wrong right away. So as I was sitting there at Red Robin, I was just racking my brain of something that, like I said, that I could do that I haven't seen before. And so what happened was I didn't get my idea until the servers came out to sing my daughter happy birthday. And right away I was like, what if I take a cut file, shape it into a 9 for her 9th birthday? And I was like, brilliant. So I drove home and I did my daughter's hair. We took a couple of pictures in the backyard, and I got started on it right away. Now, I am not great on my silhouette. I can do the basics, and so my idea was of taking a number 9 and actually shrinking the flower bundle that I had purchased from Paige Evans and putting it inside the 9 and try to weld it together. Well, that was not working. I could not figure out why it would not work. So then I said, instead of making this so difficult, make it easier on myself and just take the cut file and shape the hearts into 9. And so that's what I'm doing. So you're going to see here, and I'll talk about that in a little minute. But so as I'm sitting there, I printed it all up. I then am going to use or not print it all up, but when I cut the file out, I then was going to do the backing the cut file technique. Another thing I am not great at, I don't do it very often. I think I've only done it maybe a couple times. And that is because it seems like it would be easy, right? I don't know why. It's like I work with little kids, and little kids can do this. And so some of my students can do this. So first I trace it on the pattern paper, and then I noticed that there's going to be pencil marks, and I was like, well, I don't want that, so let me turn the paper over so that way I don't have to erase the pencil marks. And when I did it that way, the flower petals were not lining up because obviously I had switched the position of the flower. So at that point, to make it so much easier on myself, I just ended up gluing the die cut on the cardstock or on the pattern paper and then just cutting around, and that was so much easier. And I took out so much of it because you guys all know how to cut files, and I didn't want to bore you guys because it was a really long time that I was fussing with this. Now, I'm going to show you here in a few seconds a picture that I sent to my mom that same night of, Mom, what does this look like to you, of the flowers? And right away, she's like, it's a number 9. And I was like, perfect. I just want to make sure that it looks like a 9. Because after a while, and there's the picture, and then in fact, there's the video of my daughter when we were at Red Robin and her getting sung to as they brought her the little sundae. And I go, perfect, that's what I wanted it to do. So this layout has been done for a couple weeks. However, the reason why I have been putting so much pressure on myself, challenges are supposed to be fun. I felt that this layout had to be a masterpiece. Like, I could not get around. Like, I was like, this is something, like I said, that I didn't think I've ever, I've never seen before. Maybe there's some, people have done this before out there. I don't know. But I got so excited about it that this is what I had finished. And it was going to be the 9 in the photographs, but I felt like there had to be more layers and all this stuff all around it. And if in my last video, if you watched that last process video, actually I think it was like 2 process videos ago, it was my pocket page. I talked about how there's this project I've been working on and it's stressing me out way too much. And I had to literally put it off to the side and just, even though I was totally in the creative mode, I had to keep creating but different projects that was not going to put so much pressure on myself. And I don't know why I put so much pressure on myself. I don't know, maybe it's like a Paige Evans challenge. I don't, she's a pretty big deal. I'm a huge fan of her. Her collections are just absolutely stunning. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But as the more and more as I finally went back to working on it, I thought to myself, I need to keep this layout me. So I don't need to add all these layers, all these things. If you've been following me for a while, you know that my pages are usually very clean. Sometimes there's very minimal, and then sometimes there's a lot of layers. But even when I create a lot of layers and I have a lot of different textures and a lot of even just different embellishments going on, I always still have a very clean page. And that's when I was like, you know what, I need to keep this layout me. Instead of trying to create all these other different things and, and frustrating myself, keep it my style. And so that's where I just said, let it go and just keep going with the idea that that you had. And so then I added some butterflies to the page, and I'm just adding some foam dots to have the wings lifted from the page. And I'm going to fussy with this for a little bit because I already knew that the title I wanted to be was My Sunshine, and I'm going to pull those stickers out here in a minute. I'm going to try to do 2 different fonts. One of them is a matte gold, and the other one is a gold foil. And speaking of gold foil, I forgot to talk to you about those leaves. Now, those leaves came from a Not So Secret Kit Club. They have been sitting on my workspace for, oh gosh, probably a couple months now. I didn't know what to do with that twine. But lo and behold, eventually I always find a home for my scrapbooking items. And this is the layout that I'm going to home it. And that is, when I got done with the 9, I just wanted gold somewhere on it. I didn't want gold splatters. I didn't want that to be a messy look when the page already itself is very clean. And so what I did was I cut a few of the leaves off the trimming, and then I tucked them in between the flowers, and I love the pop that it just brings to that 9. Now again, the gold font that I was using, or thought that I was going to use, was a cursive one that was just matte gold, and then I used these other gold thickers that I've never used before, but they've been in my stash for a while. They're like the perfect size. It says My Sunshine, and they're the ones that have the gold mint foam in it, or underneath the letter. Now I'm fussing with those butterflies because I'm trying to make sure that the word sunshine sits across the actual photo, and then I'm going to have it where the wings go a little bit touching over the title. And that's it, guys. I just want to thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to my channel, I would love to have you here so that way you don't miss on anything else that I create. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you love this layout, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and you all have an amazing day. Bye.